The South African Council of Churches is this afternoon hosting the National Day of Prayer for Elections in Soweto. The event, which will see the IEC taking part in its ongoing partnership with different sectors of society to ensure successful national and provincial elections on the 29th of May. Newzroom Afrika's Katleho Sekhotho is there and brings us more. Kat, good afternoon to you. What can we expect from this day of prayer today?
A very good afternoon, Hugo. Indeed, the event today at the Grace Bible Church here in Soweto is being led by the South African Council of Churches, and it is about the different denominations in the church sector really calling for peace and non-violence during the election process come the 29th of May. And so the church since 1994 has been very vocal in making sure that they at least not necessarily supporting any political party, but at least in national agenda or national events such as elections, making their voices heard and making sure that people understand the importance of keeping elections non-violent and peaceful, and so that people feel free to vote in the way that they would like to. But I have with me Ms. Heidi Petersen to give us more details about the church's involvement. She is the chairperson-elect of the South African Synod of the Congregational Church. Ms. Petersen, tell us, why is it important for the church in this national matter to raise its voice?
Thank you and good afternoon. One of the important gospel imperatives is that about peacemaking, peacekeeping and peace building. The church in its prophetic voice was very profound and strong in its stance, in its witness and in its action during the 1994 elections. The credibility of the church's witness within the context of where we serve and the people who serve as followers of Jesus Christ stood very firm in the understanding that we have a responsibility to turn the tide towards peace building, towards inclusion and recognition of all God's people. And so the national agenda of the church is to come together to hold justice, humanity, peace and integrity at the forefront of all we do. So we stand together purposely, deliberately and intentionally to ensure that peace and integrity and justice and humanity remain central to what we do. So why do we vote? Exactly because we understand the power of what our vote will do to contribute to a changed and impacted democracy that holds before all God's people in the entire Rainbow Nation, where life is the gift and not destruction.
And Ms. Petersen, is it important for the church to make it known that this prayer session is not necessarily an endorsement of any political party, but this is just to say we want peace during elections?
Absolutely so. The power of language is that there is never a them and us. Political leaders form part of congregations. They are worshippers, they are believers, and they form part of the collective that stands for the powerful imperatives of the gospel of love, of kindness, of compassion, of integrity, etc. And the list goes on. So if we do an us and them, it alienates them in terms of their particular calling and leaves us on the other side. So there is a collective sense of saying, let's hold each other in the national agenda of humanity and justice and peace.
And I guess just another one, Ms. Petersen, South Africa throughout the years has seen incidents of violence, and we've seen pockets of violence as well during previous elections. Are you hopeful that this time there will be peace?
I'm more than just hopeful, I am prayerful, and pray that the message of today and all other messages that have gone before and will go beyond this day will be an invitation that people would move from violence to peacemaking and understand the value of life for you and for me is as important as it is nationally.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Ms. Petersen. You've heard it there, Hugo, from Ms. Petersen, just explaining that certainly the church looking forward to a peaceful and non-violent election process come the 29th of May, and that this session is really just to encourage all citizens to, really be at peace as we approach the elections, and that really making it an umbrella or an umbrella uniform for all political parties to become involved in this, in this day, in this event, to really spread the message of peace during elections.